Welcome to AI ConvoCast, where we bring you the latest in AI and tech innovation. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Let's jump right in.
Today, we will be covering Pope Leo XIV's landmark AI Encyclical with Anthropic's co-founder at the Vatican launch, Anthropic reportedly looking at Microsoft's Maia chips to run Claude, Google's Gemini for Science suite, and Sam Altman's $2 million token for equity offer to Y Combinator startups. Starting at the Vatican, Pope Leo XIV has released his first encyclical, titled Magnifica Humanitas, and it is squarely focused on human dignity in the age of AI. What raised eyebrows was who stood next to him at the launch. Anthropic co-founder Christopher Olah appeared alongside senior Vatican officials and theologians, a striking image given Anthropic's positioning as a safety-first frontier lab. According to the Associated Press, the document calls for robust regulation of AI and urges developers to serve the common good rather than profit. The encyclical is sweeping. Leo took on autonomous weapons, disinformation, harms to children, platform concentration, and labor displacement, and he denounced what he called the culture of power driving the AI race. One of his sharpest lines was that it is, quote, not permissible to entrust irreversible, lethal decisions to AI systems. He also pushed back on the idea that the labs themselves should be the moral arbiters here, saying a more moral AI is not enough if that morality is determined by a few. Paulo Carrozza, the Notre Dame law professor who also chairs Meta's oversight board, called the encyclical a defining document for our era. The timing matters. With U.S. policy tilting toward deregulation, this gives policymakers, religious institutions, and labor groups a shared moral reference point, and it lands frontier AI inside global human rights politics in a way tech regulation alone never did. Next, a quieter but strategically loud story. The information reported that Anthropic is in early talks to rent servers powered by Microsoft's in-house Maia 200 AI chips, with Reuters running a brief confirming version the same day. The pitch from Microsoft is straightforward. Maia is cheaper than NVIDIA for certain inference workloads, meaning the everyday job of actually running Claude for users as opposed to training new frontier models. If this deal happens, Anthropic's compute stack becomes genuinely unusual. It already spans Amazon's Trainium, Google's TPUs, NVIDIA GPUs, and reportedly compute tied to SpaceX. Adding Microsoft Maia would give Anthropic a fifth silicon source, more leverage on NVIDIA pricing and scarcity, and better inference margins. For Microsoft, landing the maker of Claude as a flagship external customer for its custom chips would be a major validation of years of silicon investment. There is also a financial backdrop worth knowing. Microsoft has reportedly committed up to $5 billion in investment into Anthropic, while Anthropic committed to $30 billion in Azure spend, so the two are already deeply entangled. The reaction from developers captured the mood neatly, with one Reddit thread summarizing it as, "Everyone needs a second silicon source." Custom chip optionality has moved from experimental to strategic. Over at Google, the most substantive thing to come out of I/O isn't another consumer Gemini feature, it is Gemini for Science. Google quietly bundled Co-Scientist, Alpha Evolve, an empirical research assistant, and Notebook LM into a single research-focused suite. The pieces include literature insights for reading and synthesizing papers, hypothesis generation, and computational discovery for writing and optimizing scientific code. There is also a layer called Science Skills built for Google's anti-gravity environment that plugs into more than 30 life science databases and tools, including Uniprot, the AlphaFold database, the Alpha Genome API, and Interpro. The strategic shift is what's notable here. MIT Technology Review's analysis on May 22nd framed it as Google moving from specialized, narrow tools to autonomous agents for science. In practice, that means a researcher could ask the system to read the relevant literature, propose hypotheses, write the code to test them, and iterate, all inside one workflow. The empirical research assistant was even written up in a Nature paper on May 19th as an AI system for expert-level empirical software. If working scientists actually adopt this, Google's edge stops being about who has the best chatbot and starts being about owning the AI native research stack, which is a much stickier position. Gemini for Science is available via interest registration right now, and Science Skills is live on GitHub and inside Anti-Gravity. Finally, Sam Altman made what TechCrunch called a mic drop offer to Y Combinator. Every startup in the current YC batch is being offered $2 million worth of OpenAI API tokens in exchange for equity, reportedly through an uncapped safe. With roughly 169 companies in the batch, the notional package lands around $338 million in credits if every founder takes it. Founders quickly coined a term for the strategy this enables: token maxing, basically designing your product around the assumption that inference is effectively unlimited. The strategic read is sharp. OpenAI is converting inference capacity, which costs it far less than list price, into real ownership stakes in the next wave of startups, while nudging those founders to build natively on OpenAI APIs from day one.
That is a direct threat to Anthropic, Google, XAI, and open source providers, because startup defaults tend to become long-term platform lock-in. Not every founder is sold. One reaction circulating on Reddit pointed out the data angle bluntly, saying, OpenAI will have the business info of those startups through the usage of those tokens. It is a real tension. The credits look like free money, but you are handing your usage patterns and the slice of your cap table to the model provider you are building on top of.
Thank you for listening to AI Convo Cast. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Thanks and hope to see you again next time.